Hi. I'm getting this low-level anxiety. I have to make this video. Somebody wanted a healing on a relationship, and it wasn't coming easy last night, so I prayed on it. I asked for a way in, and then I followed this like energy line into. It's like the relationship is like this big rock. Like all the energy is like really solid, and so it's not serving either person because they're both like cemented to each other. So it's like I need to make a crack and then put some energy line in through the crack to help me get these two people apart. It's a twin flame relationship, which there's more of these days than normal because we are moving forward. There's huge energy pushing us forward. So in that little crack and the energy going in, I asked for a download, which I got. I got a download last night, and now I need to make a video before I can do that healing. And this is not that video, because the video that I have to make is bringing up this low-level anxiety and fear. So this same person, I did a distance healing on, and they let me just go to town. So I went actually 3.2 hours. It was awesome. It was so awesome that I got to just go as long as it took. And if you've never commanded your mental power to stay focused for 3.2 hours, it is awesome. It's really fun. And so after that healing, when I was relaying all the information from the distance healing, I tried to get it into 2 videos, which is a normal maximum. Normally it's just 1, but then I've done 2. And then I thought I could definitely get it done in 3. And then my machine just stopped recording. So I was like, okay, well. And then before I finished the 4th, this same low-level anxiety popped up. And it moved. When I did the 4th video, finally, I had to do a little work on myself. And I got the 4th video done, and I've sent that 4th video, not just to the person it was for, but now I've sent it to a couple other people. Which is neat that it wasn't all balled up in like a massive information dump, like an hour long or something. So that was cool. So I can almost hardly wait to see what happens with the video. But right now I'm just sitting with my own low-level anxiety and fear that's all blocking the information that I downloaded last night. So it's this low-level anxiety and fear, which if I wasn't living a spirit-directed life would be upsetting. But because of the Renegade Yogi stuff and because of my intention to live a spirit-directed life, and also because I've done so much work on myself already, and because I don't often feel this anxiety and fear, it's not like crippling. It's really fun right now. I don't know if that makes sense, but the way I learned about the law of attraction was I was really poor and living in my car, and I had $3 to my name, and in order to keep from having a panic attack, like full-blown anxiety attack, I just started talking to myself in my head and saying, at least I have a car. And then I became grateful for my car. And then being grateful for my car, I ended up getting a job. And then I was like so grateful for a job, because then I was going to have more than $3. And I think about how many people in society, at least in our country, they take their cars and their jobs for granted. And when all you have is a car, and you can live in it, and it keeps the rain off of you, and you can drive it around to the beach, you know, and I was so grateful for that car. And then when I got the job, I was like, oh, you can imagine the feeling of just having a car and then having a car and a job was like, oh God, this is all I need. I'm good. I'm good to go. And I was so grateful. And it brought more of things to be grateful for, of course. And then I had to relearn again the same lesson of keeping myself out of a panic attack. So the first time I kept myself from having a panic attack, it was because I didn't have the money to go to a doctor or a hospital or find out what was wrong, and so I didn't have the money. The second time that I kept myself from having a panic attack was when I was a mom of a baby, and I'm not even going to go into the whole story of what was going on in my life, but I didn't have the time. So the first time I didn't have the money, and the second time I didn't have the time to have a panic attack, and I talked to myself, and I just talked myself out of it. And I ended up realizing later that I used the law of attraction in a positive, powerful way, just to keep from having a panic attack. So my daughter threw a tantrum yesterday. And through the tantrum, I realized that how the difference between entitlement and gratitude. So this is this, you could look at it as another spectrum. So gratitude, like when I had gratitude for my car and then gratitude for my job, brought me to a really good place. And then entitlement, I have a friend, well, we don't really talk anymore. Her vibration just went, it's like so low, I don't even want to think about it. But she was raised wealthy. She had lots of money when she was younger and growing up. And so I think with that wealth came an entitlement that she wasn't even aware of, like a low-level grade entitlement. And so as she became an adult, that wiring led her to, she suffers. I've tried to help, but you can't help anybody that doesn't want to be helped. So the entitlement that she grew up with ended up turning her into a victim as a grown-up. So her mind is all victim. She lives in a decent house. She has a great husband. You know, there's no issues there, but she thinks she's so poor. And she's, you know, by my estimation, it's like, you're not. You're just, but you can't talk people out of their realities. So because she grew up with that entitlement, the law of attraction worked in, like, let's say a negative way, turned her into, now she's a victim. And I taught her Reiki for free so she could make money. And her husband was all on board, like, go right ahead, you can, you know, do this. And her son could go to school and she could, I said, just charge people $35 an hour for Reiki, you could make that. But no, didn't do any of that, nothing. And just kept telling herself that she's poor. See, if you keep telling yourself that you're poor, you know, then you're not going to go out and create wealth for yourself. Or not wealth, I mean, I don't mean like mansion-y wealth. I just mean like I'm comfortable, I'm safe, sane, and secure with my finances. She was like powerless. I mean, it was, if you know, people looking from the outside are like, what is she doing? And the answer is nothing. She's just telling herself this story about that she's a victim. And it all started, I see now, with entitlement. And because I was poor, and I was pretty poor growing up too, then anything we got, we were grateful for. So they say attitude of gratitude, but now I see really, really, really how important that attitude of gratitude is. The attitude of gratitude, then the law of attraction comes in, and it's like, oh, now I have all this stuff. Or, you know, I have everything I need. That was my chant to myself. I have everything I need. I have everything I need. And then I would just be be grateful for what I needed, and then I'd get, you know, more things that I needed, like a job, and then I needed clothes for work, and I went, because I had to wear a blue skirt and white shirts, and I went into this store. I didn't know it was for like heavy people, because like I was starving, so I was tiny, and I got my clothes for work at this store called Lane Bryant, and I wondered why everyone was looking at me, but everything was on sale. It was like so cheap. I just got, you know, one skirt, one shirt, and then opened a store card. Who cares? I'm sorry. Who cares? Anyway, and then, oh my God. You really have to love yourself. I just wish everyone that listens to me, and I wish you guys could just love yourself and just look back on your little existence and just have love and compassion for yourself every step of the way, every single step, whether you're a victim or grateful. Just love yourself and realize, like, the more you can love yourself and pull yourself, your awareness up, pull your awareness up and look down on yourself kindly with so much love. Just let go of anything you think you did wrong. You know, when my mom got cancer, I had to drive her like every single day to treatments for a while. And when I had to do that, it was every day. And, you know, I think about it and how when people get cancer, or they get, or someone's dying, or you have to visit someone in the hospital all the time, all of a sudden all your time is taken up with that new stress, that new situation. And then, you know, you wonder, like, wow, I didn't realize how much time I had before, you know? And so then after you go through a situation like that, because I see people so busy, and they're always busy. And, you know, they don't have time to get cancer. They don't have time to meditate. They don't have time. And it's like, there are people right now suffering, and they have to make the time, you know, to be sick and to get what they need done and to do what they need to do. And that time comes. So if you're healthy and you're happy, just notice that you're healthy and that you're happy and that you have the time to be with your kids or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or at your job or in your car. Just notice that you have the time. Notice if your body is like young and beautiful and strong. Just notice if you have the time to read a book, or you have time to take a yoga class, you have time to make a bank deposit. Just notice what do you have time for. Be so grateful for that time. You know, notice what freedom you have, the freedom to drive around, the freedom. What do you have the freedom to do? What do you have right now that you can enjoy that you're not enjoying 100%? Okay, I love you. Be grateful, not entitled, if you want to be happy. Look for where are you entitled. Change that story. All right. Change the story. What can I be grateful for? Because entitlement really screws you up with the law of attraction. Okay, love you. Love ya! Thanks.